Oh man, I've been sleeping terribly again. I'd finally gotten back into a good rhythm. They keep flashing me all this same stuff. And using terminology I don't care for, but like twin flame and that kind of thing. And you know how that rubs me just the wrong way because it's misleading. Only because there's so many different definitions out there for that kind of thing where, I think people used to say it loosey-goosey because they didn't take it so seriously, where now people take it really seriously. And I don't even know how to describe everything they're showing. Oh, they even flashed a scene of somebody, famous people. I forget who they were, but damn, you would know them. And she was really strong, and he was too. They were both famous actors, and they were what we thought of as the public viewing them, strong morals and ethics and character and quality. They were good quality actors, right? Anyway, apparently they had a love affair, but it was young and they had never gotten back together, but she more or less waited around for him for many, many, many years. I mean, ended up diving into her work and stuff, but still had, a longing for him and a space for him. And of course, he went on to several other women, but never gave his full self either because he longed for her. And I forget what the story was where they didn't come together, but there was a lot of this idea, right? They were flashing that kind of thing constantly. And it was so bothersome. Like, please don't bother me with this. Please stop telling me these kind of things. It's disturbing and upsetting for me. And it's like, I don't even know what the message is because it is all about love. All of us are here for love. That's it. That's it. And if we're not healing our wounds, it's like we don't get it. And I think that's why they kept bringing up the twin flame thing, which really disturbed me. It really upsets me because in what they were showing, it was this, and I think it's because I don't know all the definitions, but I know some people talk about it really seriously. And I think I always looked at it like, well, everybody is to a degree, but they're showing it not like that. Like it really is, I guess, twin wounds or something. I don't know. And, if one, so let's just go with that. Let's just go with this theory that there's somebody else who's your other half, which again, I could chop that argument in half. I really don't like it, but they're telling me to go with it. And it's rubbing me the wrong way, but fine. It's this idea that if one of you is doing the work and healing the wounds, but the other one is not, it is like you have this tug, this string, this pull, this feeling, and it's like the one who isn't doing the inner work, the healing, is actually fucking over the one who is. So then it's like, what's the message? Telling everybody to not heal their wounds then? Because again, they were showing that famous couple again, who were nobody even knew they were a couple. They were a couple so young, and then went on to their lives. I was shocked by this story. I didn't even know that. And so it's almost like, don't heal your wounds then. Everybody just go have fun. I mean, which is always the message, have fun for sure. Yet, I don't know. I really don't. It's like you see people who are so madly in love. It's like they've done their inner work and they go after what they desire and they fill their heart with unconditional love and they match up and they live a blissful life. That is like the power couples. That is the magical, romantical, wonderful couples. And sadly, they are rare, right? Because we all know the truth. You may see those painted everywhere, but we're all fully aware that that's just a painting, right? Like we're all aware that that's fake shit. So the real is the rarity, but when you see it and you feel it, you're like, oh, that's fucking bliss, you know? And so it's so upsetting to me when they tell me this stuff, because it's like, what are you telling me for? What are you telling me for? You know, because I don't even understand the message then. Are you telling me I have a twin, or I've already met my twin, but they're not doing the work? Or, you know, it's like, I'm doing the work. What the fuck for, right? It's like, because if, I guess the question is, it's like, you know, I guess in my book, it's like, well, if I'm doing the work, then no offense, but fuck them, whoever it is, right? Like, if they're not, like, let me just go find love. Why does it have to be that person, right? It can be anybody that is at that same matching level and that same frequency, that same vibration. And this is what these messages confuse me with, right? Everything they're showing and flashing, it's like, for, again, lack of better words, it's like they're showing me that's not allowed. Well, fuck you. What the fuck do you mean? What happened to free will? Like, I don't know. It's like none of that makes sense to me. It doesn't even make sense. And I just don't understand, I think I'm missing the message. And here's the other thing, like, if you're showing, like, for instance, if we're showing me, right, and it's showing I'm healing, and they're suggesting I have a twin and they're not healing, but then I should be matching up with somebody else. Or am I not healing? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not, then wouldn't that imply that, I was going to say something's wrong with me, but you don't want to look at it like that. It's like, you know, what isn't healed? That this is, I don't know what, I was going to say still an issue, but it's not an issue for me if you all would stop bringing it up. I mean, I don't understand what the... They've been flashing everything so quickly too that I don't know that I'm picking up everything they're putting down. Because to me, it is all love. Everything they're showing is all about love. Some is, I was going to say some is good love, some isn't. Just in that, the true, authentic, unconditional love, you see those dynamics, you see those power couples, you see that bliss, you see that truth, you see that beauty, you feel it. And the fake is everywhere, right? So it's like, and don't get this twisted either, in that, you know, real love, and what I mean by that real unconditional deep love, it isn't the fireworks. It isn't that. It's that calm, steady, beautiful, peaceful, blissful. It's like, it just feels right. And I say don't get that confused, because I think sometimes when people, maybe that's my problem with all those words and definitions. I think sometimes when people say those words like twin flame or power couple or all these things, it's also the commercialized, dramatized, fantasized, like fireworks and it can be like that, but in the most beautiful, calming way. And in that it's not chaos. It's not trauma bonding, right? Like that's what that is to me anyway. To me, that's trauma bonding, when it's chaotic and this pull and this tug of war and it's difficult and it's all this chasing and avoiding. It's like, oh my God, that's all trauma. That's all unhealed. Like, Jiminy crickets, take that shit elsewhere. And you can fall into it even when you're healed. I feel like that can happen where it's like cracking open old wounds that were healed. If you're not vigilant, if you're not staying conscious and aware, you can slip back into those old patterns and like rip open old wounds that unnecessarily. So then it's like, well, maybe it didn't heal all the way up, or I don't know what, right? But it's be careful of that. Like, to me, your nervous system should be your indicator, right? It's a very different, to me, it's a mature, beautiful love that can turn into something that is so beyond. It's not, it's such a hard thing, isn't it? Because some people say fireworks and mean one thing, and other people say fireworks and mean something else. Some people say blissful and one, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, everybody's definition is, it varies, and it's irrelevant. It's whatever you want, you know? But when I'm referencing these things, true unconditional love, there's a calm, steady peace there. There's a understanding and a softness. There's a comfortability and still sexiness and desire. There's love, and there's interest, and there's space, and there's independence, and there's a lot, but it's all easy. It's different than what I think a lot of people hear about or see. I think people are very used to, I hate to say it, but it's like common love, right? It's like people have familiarized with seeing friends and family and others in familiar. It's like, it is like common love. It's like the wrong words for it, but it's like, it's not. It's a different version of love. There's so many different versions of how people use that word. And I guess you have to decide on what yours is, what your ideal is, what you're striving for, what you're settling for. And that's why when you hear all these terms, I think it almost romanticizes trauma bonds. And it can confuse, like, people can get confused. I mean, I don't even know what people's definitions are of trauma bonds and twin flames and power couples, and like, there's all these terms people use, but who knows what the fuck they really mean, right? They're saying something, and we have our own definition of that, and we think it's one thing, and then you continue talking to them, and you realize, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're talking about something different than what I'm talking about. And what I considered, whatever the topic was, the term was. And this is why it can be challenging to chat with others. You've heard me say that joke many a times, where my daughter used to come in and say even one sentence, and she would start to 12 others. And I was like, you know what? I have 400 questions about the first sentence. So, I mean, we either got to slow this puppy down or just do you. And I'll scratch my head or try to catch up. But, yeah, I mean, anyway, I again, it's back to like waking me up and fucking talking about, I guess maybe they're trying to just show me all the scales of love, all the variations out there. So what's the message for people, right? Just choose you, love yourself, know what it means to love yourself, how it feels to love yourself, what that feels like, what that looks like for you, so you know when your match comes, right? I know I'm so comfortable with myself and being alone that I desire somebody else. But I found the few people that I've come around, I'm a little jumpy around, but that's my cue. It's not them, you know? And I know there's a fine line there, because I've gotten so familiar with being alone again that, it'll probably take a minute for anybody, but ultimately, it shouldn't be any jumpy. My nervous system should be as calm as when I'm with myself, you know? I think most people tend to be just different than me. We've talked about this many times. I think I'm backwards, but, I like my own company. And I think there's so many people out there that avoid themselves to no end. And so they're jumpy when they're alone. They find ways to busy themselves and be around a million people. And they can't stand the silence or their own thoughts or the peace, the calm, the quiet. I mean, I'm alone 99% of the time. I'm not kidding. And I don't think people get that. I think they think I'm exaggerating. I am not. I don't want it to be. I mean, that's way too extreme. But it's also what I've gotten familiar and comfortable with. And the few people that do enter my world by happenstance, by walking outside or by if I go to grocery shop, which we all know happens once or twice a year. I usually just have it delivered. Or what else, just even walking along the beach or whatever the case may be, usually agitate me. So I go right back inside. I've had enough of that. I really have no idea what the point of all this is. I think it is back to just love yourself and love your own company. Get to know yourself, get to know what you do and don't like. So that, you can call it you. That's what you want to do. I mean, that's what you're doing when you love yourself. I mean, you're calling in you all the time, period. But it's depending on where you're vibrating to determine what version of you you're calling in. All right, let me go back to sleep, please. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.